Okay, so writing into this paper is not easy. It is kind of hard. I guess for me, anyway, I can't speak for other people. Um, for me, it was hard because I've never wrote this kind of paper before, and I went to others seeking for like a way of doing it to make it easier. And so, like, will I use Cynthia's papers in the future? I do not know. That's not something I can answer because I don't know down the road papers and how they're going to be. For like researching for topics for self worth and your body image, it wasn't that hard to necessarily come up with topics because it's a well known thing around the world and people out there do necessarily, how do I explain it? There's other people papers out there. There's other articles. There's other magazines. There's all kinds of stuff saying, "Hey, this is what body image is supposed to be like. Hey, maybe we should fix it and do this instead." And maybe like there's other things out there. Like for my paper, I used one of the chapters in the book about how a girl didn't get a job because of the way she dressed, and that was her religion, so she couldn't help it. And she got denied that job because of her religion, because of how she looked. And that just shouldn't be a thing that's out there. But we can't help, honestly, what the world sees as a thing. It's more of like we could change it, but we can't at the same time modify it. Because we could be like, yeah, you shouldn't do this, or maybe you should, but another term you shouldn't. It's more of a thing where um, that's a problem, we should fix it. Maybe we should have some charity work goes toward it, like, hey, self-harm, all this stuff, like here, suicide awareness. But just because we have something dedicated toward that does not mean that we can stop it. It's always going to be there no matter what we do. And we can't dictate that. There's nothing in our power that we can do. But for using this topic for another paper, that's probably something I will do because there's always going to be stuff out there on this topic. There's not just going to be, oh, this topic's so cutthroat, it's that's one thing. No, there's several things out there dictated towards self-worth. Like there's self-worth in how much money you have or how you look or just in general yourself and how you anything's worth. So it'd be like, oh, I'm worthy because I have a lot of money. But there's also the worth of like Christian worth because like to be you, your worth is determined by how you look at it versus how others look at it. But in another way, it's more of like the reason I chose body image is because that's one of the biggest worths out there, and people always will counterattack it and be like, "Oh, well, there's this about it and there's that about it, so this shouldn't be a problem. We should stop worrying about it." But no, it's always gonna be a problem, no matter how you look at it. And I just feel that even though my paper is based on it and mine saying, "Yeah, you shouldn't do that," and yeah, it's out there and there's several versions of it. It's more of you can't stop it, I guess you could say. Um, for what I found easiest for writing this paper, I mean, probably the easiest part was researching and finding articles and books and papers on it. But the ones I chose because it changed it up a little bit. Like I chose the chapter out of the book that was about the girl who got denied the job because it's a different different part of self worth. It's not like body image self worth, but it's more of like the way you perceive your body. Because I mean, like in magazines and articles, they're just talking about how, oh my gosh, she's ran out of toothpaste, she's like super hot, or she's fat, or stuff like that. But when it comes to this kind of body image, it's more of she's conservative, she covers up, it's how she is, and she can't really change it. I mean, she could, but it's her religion, and religion doesn't change overnight. Religion has been based there from decade to decade to decade, and it's always going to be like that. So, like 50 years from now, there's still going to be religions that make you be conservative. And it's not necessarily make you, it's more of like if you're not that way, then you're not 100% that religion. And that's just how it is. But for like the hardest part of it, I feel was probably writing it. Because, like I've said, I've never wrote a paper like this, so it was generally harder for me. But it's more of like getting the two things to come together and make a paper in itself. Like, I'm not saying my paper's good, but it's definitely better than it was at first when I made my draft. So, thank you for your time.